Hey fam, welcome back to our channel. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Huguette. And in this video, we are going to go about looking at some things that we found to be true and some things that we found to be not so true while living here in Benin. We did lots of research, extensive research, and as my husband always says, unless you have boot on the ground, unless you are in the country, sometimes you don't really get the full gist of what's really going on. So here are some of the items that we found in our research to be true.
And one of them, number one, is safety. I found it to be very, very, very safe here. My wife and I, we walk on the beach at night,
Yes.
sometime in the dark, and no one give us a second look.
And not only that, there are other people walking on the beach as well. Sometimes we're on the beach and, most people have left and we're still there and there's no threat. You don't feel, unsafe,
I don't feel it at all.
No,
I mean,
the
not at
country is
all.
very safe.
Very safe, because
Yes.
sometimes we even, after we walk, we'll sit out there for another 10, 15 minutes in the dark,
Yes, exactly.
And, it's cool. So safety is one of the issues that is true. A lot of the YouTubers did say that.
Yes, and so that we did find that was true.
That was true.
Okay, the second thing that we found was true was
Cleanliness.
cleanliness.
Yes.
The country is very clean. Once in a while, you may find a few bits and pieces on the beach, but it's quickly picked up, And I notice that a lot of things are washed in by the tide. So a lot of the stuff that you see on the beach doesn't come from the people dropping things on the beach. It comes from
the tide,
Out of
bringing
the
it in
ocean.
out of the ocean.
Exactly.
Maybe if somebody drops something way out in the ocean and the tide just bring it in. But by the next day you come back, it's all cleaned up and gone. I
Yes.
mean, the beach is always clean.
And that's the beach. But even just walking around the city and driving around the city,
And
you don't
no.
see any garbage and litter and there are actually garbage bins posted in different locations.
Absolutely,
So that helps a
absolutely.
lot. Yeah.
So that's another truth. We heard about Benin. It is true. It's very clean. It's a very clean country.
Exactly. And number 3 on our list is
The cost of living.
the cost of living. Yes. In our research, we heard, compared to other places, what the cost of living is, and it is. It is very reasonable. I would say about 60% less than the U.S., or maybe 50% less.
I would say 60%.
About 60% less. I agree.
60% less. Yeah,
Yes.
I would say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when we talk about cost of living, we talk about food, electricity, all of your utilities.
Housing.
Yes, and housing as well.
Yeah.
Yes. A point about housing. Go ahead.
For me, housing is a little more expensive than I thought it would be. For me, but my wife is saying no. My wife is saying nah. It's exactly what they said, but no.
And let me say why. Let me explain why. In our research, I've heard lots of first of all, there are not a lot of people making videos on Benin. So the few that we found when we did the research, they, for the most part, I feel like they gave a good, accurate account about the housing. So we're paying a little bit more than we expected to, but I think it's because of the area that we're in. So what I mean is you can get housing, for example, a one-bedroom apartment. You can get a nice one-bedroom apartment for about $400 US. Okay, the interior of the apartment is beautiful. It's modern. It's a lot like what we're used to in the States. Actually, a little bit better because a lot of the apartments come with tray ceilings and little things like that. The issue that we found is you may find a really nice apartment. The inside is nice, but the outside of the building may not be as nice. Or the area, what's next door, the area where the apartment
road
is.
might not be paved.
Right.
Yeah.
But not only that, the building itself may be a little bit run down. They're doing an extensive amount of renovations in the country. And so you may have one building that is beautiful, it looks brand new, and then you may have another one right next to it that's in the process of being refurbished, right? So this is the thing. You may, like I said, inside looks beautiful, outside not so much. And so for us, where we are, we want it to be a nice inside and outside and close to the beach, so it costs a little bit more. But yeah, so
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I know if we were in the U.S., what we have right now,
we can't compare.
Yeah, we can't compare because this would have ran us about maybe $5,000 a month.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
in Miami or Tampa for what we paying here.
Yeah.
So I do understand.
So we keep talking about how ours is a little bit. Let's say what ours is. We're paying about $7.30.
It depends on
the exchange rate of the money. Yes.
Sometimes it's $7.20, sometimes it's $7.25, sometimes $7.30. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're actually in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yes. Fully furnished.
Fully furnished. Yes.
Yes.
And we're going to make another video where we will talk more and show you some apartments. Okay.
Yeah, in Cotonou.
That's coming.
yeah, for sure. Our next point is what we found is true.
Yes.
The friendliness of the people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very friendly, very helpful. A lot of people say that they don't speak English, and a lot of people don't speak English. But there are many people who do speak English. It may be broken English, so they don't feel comfortable with it. So they may say, "No, I don't speak English." But once you start talking to them, and then they will come out of their shell a little bit, and you realize, yes, you do speak English.
Yeah.
But everyone, no matter if the language even if they don't speak English, they are willing to help. And there are many ways to communicate. Even if you don't speak their language, you can still communicate with them. So when it comes to friendliness, being helpful, always smiles and always greetings and happy faces. It's
People
here.
are very friendly.
It's here.
Very friendly.
It's here in Benin.
So don't let the language hold you back from
not
coming
at all.
here. Not at all.
Not at all.
And Google is your best friend too. So
yes,
use
Google Translate. Yes.
Yeah, use that.
Very much so.
Very much so. So you'll feel right at home being here on vacation.
Absolutely. Or even moving here.
Even moving here, absolutely.
What's the next point?
Next one, corruption.
Corruption, yes. We heard a lot about how Benin, it's safe, it's there's no corruption, the government does not put up with it, and that is actually
true.
That is actually true.
That are actually true.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been here in the 2 months we've been here. We've been around. Nobody's trying to extort us.
Yes.
No, and our driver got stopped by the cops several times. I mean, it was no big deal. I mean, so yeah.
And we've been to other African countries where that is a problem. You get stopped all the time, and they're not getting money from us, the Westerners, but they get it from the drivers, and it makes you feel a little uncomfortable. Even though they're not getting money from you, you still feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And here we don't have that issue at all. No. Like my husband said, because we go around a lot. And we've been stopped twice. Well, our driver been stopped twice, and one time it was because we were not wearing the seatbelt, and that was just a warning: put on your seatbelt. They put it on.
Yeah.
The other time was the windows of the car was very dark tint, and they spoke to him about it, and
we're on our way.
And that was it.
Yeah, no searching the car, no pulling you out of the car, not asking you got drugs and guns in the car.
Nothing.
None of that. We were on our way within a couple of minutes.
Exactly.
So,
So
yes, and the government is strict on that here.
Very strict, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah, if you're lawless, don't come
here. This is the wrong place to be.
This is the wrong place to be. They don't play that in Benin.
But if you're lawful,
this is a place for you.
Please come.
Okay. What's on the next on the list? Next on the list is transportation.
Yes, transportation. As far as transportation, getting around the country is not a problem at all.
No.
There are taxis, and they don't cost that much. They really don't. I mean, we go from one city to the next city, and it costs us what, about roughly $14, and we're driving from about 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we return home like around maybe 4:30 in the evening, and we're driving around looking at things,
Yeah,
stopping
it
and
takes you
going.
around.
But
Yeah,
it's not that
It's not that
expensive
expensive
for us. We do
yeah.
understand that it is a lot if you know, depending on what your money, your currency exchange is.
Yeah.
But
For the
it's-
locals, it's very expensive. For
Yeah.
them, it'll be very expensive. They
Yeah.
get around. Most 99% of the locals get around on the motorcycles.
Yeah, the
you know?
motorcycles, and that's
Yeah.
I was going to say it. So we have the taxis for sure. Then you have the tuk-tuks, you know, the trikes,
Three-wheel,
the
yeah.
three-wheel trikes,
Uh-huh.
which I really love because they go slow and I get to see everything. So those are the next step down as far as expense. So the taxis are the most expensive. And then you have the trikes, and then the motorcycles, which are the motorcycles. They're very inexpensive.
Very inexpensive.
We're talking about maybe for what you say, for driving 3 mile distance, you would say it would cost probably about maybe
pennies.
Yeah.
Pennies.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 5-10 cents. I don't know.
For three
3 miles,
3
maybe.
miles?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
US,
Yeah.
I was speaking US
Yeah, it's not that much. So
Right.
yeah, so
And it's very fast.
Very
and
fast.
There's so many motorcycles.
motorcycles. Yeah, you can get around. You can get from one side of town to another side of town within 10 minutes on a bike. In a car, it probably take you 15-20 minutes, but on a bike, you can get them.
Really
from one
fast.
city to another very fast. So yeah,
Yes.
transportation is.
It's not a problem. It's available. It's
Everywhere,
really available.
everywhere.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Right. Our next one is infrastructure.
Yes, we heard a lot about the infrastructure of Benin and how it's, and we found that to be
true.
true.
Infrastructure is very good. I mean, as far as, you don't have to worry about your lights,
Yes.
your lights going off.
Yes.
We've been in countries and in a couple other African countries, light was going off every couple hours, bam, and go off for an hour or two, come back on, boom, go for, here.
Longer than that.
Yeah.
I remember sometimes the way we had to have dinner out because the electricity, it's been 6 hours and no electricity back. So I couldn't cook.
Yeah,
Which I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
But here, for the 2 months that we've been here, the electricity has gone off what?
Now I would say maybe 3 times.
3 times.
4 times.
I remember.
But
No,
it
I
came
remember 3 times.
And it came
The first time it was off for like maybe 3 minutes. The second time I think it was off for about 2 minutes. And the longest it was off was probably about maybe 5 minutes.
Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe.
Not even 10.
Not even
no.
10.
Yeah.
So and
Really
that was
short.
it. Really short. Yeah.
Water is a constant. We never had an issue
with water. Yeah, water is constant.
What about the Wi-Fi? Is steady as well.
Wi-Fi is steady. Yeah, Wi-Fi is steady. So infrastructure.
And then the garbage removal. There's people who come over to get the
once
garbage
a week, to pick
and
up
collect the trash. So that's not an issue. So
no, it's not.
Excuse me. Yeah, so infrastructure is good. Like I said, the buildings are being refurbished. New buildings are coming up all over the place. It's really exciting to be here right now. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah, I say within another 2 to 4 years, this place is gonna be better than it is right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be the place to be.
It's gonna
truly.
be. It is a place to be right now, but it's gonna be even better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, those are the things we found to be true.
To be true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I was going to say places to go, things to do, lots of art museums. If you like art, the nightlife is amazing. There's lots of places to go to listen to live music, really good food, really great restaurants. So there are things to do. If you like to, go about, and there's lots to do. You're not going to be bored.
No, there's a lot to do here. There's a lot to do. Or you can come here and you can start something.
Absolutely.
You can start something. Business is very easy to start here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's another video for another day.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about things that during our research we found not to be true.
Yeah.
While we're here.
And one of them on the list to me is still again housing.
Okay.
Housing is an issue for me because the prices we got as far as housing,
It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more than,
Nah,
than
it's-
we expect.
it's a lot more than I expected.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot more. For me, it's a lot more, and none of the videos ever said, well, houses are gonna be $700-800, $1,000 for housing.
And that's true. There is housing for that price, but there is also there are also apartments that you can get for $500 US, $400 US.
That's some apartment you can get for
$300 US.
$300.
It's just the quality of it.
Yeah,
So when
yeah.
we say housing, when my husband speaks about housing not being what he expects, we're talking about the level of it, the quality of it.
Yeah.
So you can get housing for. We have some friends who stay in a place and they pay $80 a month.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a nice big house, really nice, but
yeah.
they pay for the room, so
Yeah.
everything else is shared.
Yeah.
You know, and we've been there with them a couple of times. You know, visiting.
It's nice. It's nice.
It is
It's
very nice. So
it's very nice.
there's something for every budget.
Yeah, don't get me
Yes.
wrong now. I'm
Yeah.
not saying, you can find
Whatever you need,
you can find
whatever your
it.
price range is,
You can
there's
find
something
it.
for you.
Yeah.
There's something
yeah.
for
So
you.
let's just say that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So okay, what's the other thing that
The other thing, the only other thing, it wasn't a lot. The only other thing is the side streets in some areas.
Yes, exactly. So the some side streets are not paved yet, but they are in the process
They are
of
in the
being
process
paved.
of doing it as we speak. Where we live now, they're working on it. They putting the sewer lines and they're getting ready to do sidewalks and stuff.
Exactly.
So those are not done.
Exactly.
You know?
So what's not done is getting done.
Done. Yes.
And it's not getting done in a month or 2 months. It's getting done now.
Yeah.
You see the progress. You see, okay, so this street is not paved, but the street before it is being worked on, and the street before that street is paved.
Absolutely.
So
I like that, but I was expecting everything to be paved. I don't know why.
Right.
From the videos.
From the videos,
I
exactly.
was expecting everything to be paved.
Exactly.
But it's not. But other than that,
it's exactly what we expected.
absolutely. And we're loving it. After
we
2
are
months,
loving it.
we're loving it.
Yes.
We're loving it so far.
Yes, we are.
But we'll let you know after 3 months. We'll let you know, how we feel about it. We're not gonna lie to you guys, okay?
No,
we're not gonna lie to you guys.
Because we realized in doing our research, and not just and for Benin, for other places that we think about moving to in Africa, we rely on YouTubers to tell us the truth. Because we rely on your information to make our decision as to if we want to come visit or not, and if we want to move there and settle or not. So we will tell you the truth. And let me just give a disclaimer right now. Our truth is what we experience. So what might be important to us may not be important to you.
True.
So we're telling you what we see, what through our eyes.
Absolutely. So fam, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Help us out here. We just getting started and we need your help. But we're gonna always be honest with you and tell you the truth. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, fam. Until next time, be good to each other and be good to yourself. Okay?
Yes.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.